Welcome to Attican Plays Railway Empire. All right, hi, this is Attican, and welcome to another Railway Empire video. This is our continuation of the Patchwork scenario from the Germany DLC. In the first couple of episodes, we built up the Hesse region, which has three cities, Worms, Frankfurt, and Kassel. We built those three cities into a population of over 240,000 total. That was very challenging, but we got that done. And now we're moving into kind of phase two of this scenario, which is really connecting. We have to have access rights to 6 regions, and we have to connect a total of 750,000 people to our network. This is very challenging, and I will share with you, I've tried this multiple ways. And the one I'm going to show you here is, I think, one of the simplest ways to play it, and I think it would be a good one for you to use because, again, it is very simple. What basically is going to happen here is, and you're going to see me doing it over and over, and I am going to fast forward through pieces of this. We're going to connect the cities that we have access to with passenger and mail lines, and then accumulate money until we can open up a new region and rinse and repeat. Now, the reason for passenger mail lines is because, one, they're highly profitable, and two, they're very cheap to set up. Your investment for the passenger mail line is just some track, a couple of stations, maybe a supply tower, and some trains. And of course, we're playing the engineer, so the trains are very cheap. So this approach requires a minimal investment for getting a lot of money back. And so this is one way you can attempt to do this 750,000 people in a very rapid time. And I can tell you that I've already tried a couple of other ways, and let me share those with you as well. Second one would be to make these connections like this one from Saarbrücken up to Koblenz, and then from Koblenz up to Cologne or Cologne, and then try to actually grow those cities. So you could run wheat in here, you could run logs, you could run pigs, you could put in different industries and run hops in, whatever. You could try to set this up as a second 3-city cluster, for example, and try to grow those cities. Now, remember, our whole thing is get those access to regions and grow population. So one approach is grow these, treat them like another 3-city cluster, and try to grow them the way you did Hesse. And if you could get 3-city clusters going really well, you could hit your objective that way. The problem with that one is, of course, it's very expensive to set up all these freight lines and have all this freight moving in and have all the track laid for that, and get the growth going quickly enough for you. It's a perfectly good way to do it. I've done it, and I've come this close, I thought, to getting my little gold check mark, but didn't make it. So let's see. That was a passenger mail line approach, just a kind of rapid expansion for passenger mail. Then there's the grow as you go approach, which would be set up these clusters and try to grow them and feed them with goods. And you can, by the way, you can get quick start growth on these cities fairly rapidly, because they only need pigs and wheat and maybe 1 or 2 other items, and you can get those cities to grow. So that would be the grow as you go approach. So we've got the passenger mail line rapid expansion, we've got the grow as you go, and then in either one of those there's sort of hybrids or different way to go. Maybe with the passenger mail would be to target the bigger regions, the region that's controlled by the orange dude up there around Berlin, because those cities have been built up by our computer opponent. Same thing down there with the gold that's been set up by our other computer opponent, a little to the south. Bigger area with more people. The problem with that is the entry fee into those regions is very steep, so you would have to wait a long time. If you tried to go to those right off the bat, your revenue flow from just having your original 3-city cluster and a couple other things is just not fast enough to allow you to go out and buy those regions and connect up to those cities. So that's another way, and I've tried that one and done okay. In fact, I found it to be the slowest. It was actually the worst approach of the three that I've really tried. And I've tried these multiple times, by the way. That's why there's been such a delay in getting this next video out. I mean, what I'm showing you, I apologize. I could have sent you this video a week ago because I've done this before, and it came out pretty much like this, pretty much like you're going to see here. So what I'd love is if somebody can do this and stay gold all the way through that 750,000 people task. I'd love to know how you did it. You need to share that with us so we can all become better players. So anyway, this is just going to get really repetitive. We're just going to rinse and repeat this process on and on. I am going to speed it up a little bit. I will do this for you, though. I will run the fast forward at a little slower pace, so that way you can kind of have a better chance of actually seeing what's going on. If for something that interests you, you can slow it down through the YouTube controls and check it out if you want to. But again, it's just really, it's kind of boring. It's just open up a new region, connect the cities, run passenger mail lines, rinse and repeat ad nauseum. So in a moment here, this will speed up, and we'll move on to the point where we're thinking about not doing just this, but also going to target the big boy regions, if you will, where the higher population is. One comment worth adding here is you noticed I got that Hulda, that's called Hulda, the Hulda engine, which is an actual express train for this time period in Germany, and it's just a tremendous train to have if you're going to run passenger mail lines, because it just really does ramp up your profits because it's so much faster, and it has a high passenger rating, so you get a lot of passenger traffic with that train. All right, so at this point we're getting pretty close, but we need a bigger population, so we're going to target that Berlin area and take advantage of our opponent and how he's built up. And at this point, I'm thinking if we can hit if we can hit 1854, I'm thinking that'll be a gold check. But I don't really know, and the problem is I'm not exactly sure how they calculate. Now, it could be we're already too late. It could be, I know it has an end date of 1858, and if they count that from the beginning every time and not when you first know about the task, then we're already too late. We had to hit June 1853. And I really confess I don't know how you would do that. Love to have somebody explain to me how to do that. But so right now I'm thinking, boy, if I can hit 1854, and I know I'm in pretty good shape with what I've done so far. We've gotten some city growth just by having those lines connected, and we've gotten some growth in our original three that were set up to grow, and so we're actually in pretty good shape here. I'm thinking if we can just raise $4 million and get access into that region that includes Brandenburg and Berlin and those cities. So just trying to raise $4 million here and then go ahead and get access to that region. All right, so now we've saved up enough cash and we've got 2 open bonds. We know we can get our $4 million. So we get our $4 million and we open up this Brandenburg territory, and which includes 4 decent-sized cities. And now the difference here is, because we're really tight for time, not enough time to get back an investment of double tracking and running trains. So we're just going to literally run a single track and have the connection, run a single station, which is all we could build anyway in our opponent's city that our opponents are in. And we're just going to single line it from Magdeburg, whatever, however you say that, to Brandenburg, to Berlin, and then down to, oh my word, Klotbus or Klotbus or something. I have no clue how to say that one. To K-Town, down there below Berlin. And that'll give us connections to all the cities in this region, which again, these cities are decent size because our opponent has been in there doing some building and running some goods in there. So we get those 4 connected with this final connection right here. And we're a little bit short, but we're getting really close. Look at this, 670. We only need about 80,000, and at Posen over there is quite a good-sized city. So all we have to do is get that into our network, and I'm thinking, oh, we got it, finally. Going to get this thing on gold and looking good. So we just have to save up a couple $1 million to get over there and get that region that has Posen in it, and then we are good to go. So here we go. We finally got enough money. We repay the bond, and that means we can't open another one until we get a little bit of cash. That opens up the possibility of that bond. We get our $2 million. We can open up this region and run a line from Posen to Berlin, and that should do the job for us and get us our 750,000 people into our network. And at this point, I'm feeling pretty good. Feeling like finally, after all this work, I've got this thing figured out, got a nice gold check mark coming. making the cheapest line we can make, because I'm thinking of these lines, really, these ones I'm last few of late as temporary. They're just to fulfill this particular task, and then based on what the next set of tasks are, we will probably be deleting these and building new ones. So there we go, task completed, and I look at it and groan, didn't make it. And I do think that we needed to be done by June of 1853. And that is extremely challenging to get that gold check mark. Again, if anybody knows how to do that, please give us a comment, show us an example, whatever, but help us out here. I've tried, as I said, 3 different ways, and I have not hit gold. Shame on me, but I'll keep trying. So anyway, I hope that helped you get through this part of it and help you with your gameplay, and I hope you'll join us for the next part when we have some big hard work to do, and we will slow back down for that, and I'll show you multiple techniques for city building. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it'll help you become a better player, and I hope you'll join us for our next Railway Empire video. Thank you.